His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia, Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa yesterday co-chaired a meeting of the Saudi Bahraini Coordination Council in Riyadh. His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman commenced the meeting by welcoming His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad and the accompanying delegation, and commended the depth of historic relations between Saudi Arabia and Bahrain. He expressed his hopes to achieve the vision of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, for greater GCC integration, which will contribute to stability and development. He highlighted the efforts of the Saudi Bahraini Coordination Council and its subcommittees in furthering bilateral cooperation across several areas in line with shared development goals and aspirations of the leaders of both countries. His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad highlighted the depth of the long-standing Bahrain-Saudi partnerships, which continues to receive the support of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the Saudi King. His Royal Highness commended His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman's unwavering support of various initiatives and projects spearheaded by the Saudi Bahraini Coordination Council and its subcommittees, which will reinforce integration and joint development for both countries in coordination with their shared values and aspirations. He underscored the importance of the Saudi Bahraini Coordination Council in bolstering strategic cooperation across multiple arenas, benefiting both countries and their peoples. In the presence of their Royal Highnesses, the Council announced the opening of the first Saudi Bahraini company, established in November 2022 between the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia and the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Bahrain Mumtalakat, with an investment of $5 billion. The Council also announced the completion of the construction of King Abdullah Medical City Hospital in Bahrain, which is scheduled to open in the second quarter of 2024. The Council announced several projects to launch training opportunities and incubate private sector institutions concerned with artificial intelligence networking and data sharing. The Council also announced partnerships between private sector institutions in the health fields and the treatment of products in the two countries. The Royal Highnesses witnessed the exchange of numerous agreements and MOUs that were signed on the sidelines of the meeting in the fields of energy, economy, finance, financial, markets, legal, culture, education, administrative development, health, television, radio and news. The Royal Highnesses agreed to hold the fourth Saudi Bahraini Coordination Council meeting in Bahrain at a date to be determined by the Council's General Secretariat. The third meeting of the Saudi-Bahraini Coordination Council constituted a milestone in the path of constructive cooperation between the two brotherly countries, as it included a pivotal decision and the signing of important agreements. More on this report. Based on the deep-rooted history of the Bahraini-Saudi relations that extend for decades and was established by the leaders of both countries, the Saudi-Bahraini Coordination Council came to place a new building block in the structure of the relations of the two brotherly countries through the important decisions approved during its previous two meetings. The third meeting came to confirm the high determination of the two leaders of the Council, who emphasized the role of the Council in developing and strengthening Bahraini-Saudi cooperation and integration, and taking them to very advanced levels of various fields. The Saudi-Bahraini Coordination Council, in the presence of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia, Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, announced a number of pivotal decisions that establish a new phase of cooperation between the two countries, the most prominent of which is the opening of the first office of the Saudi-Bahraini Company, in addition to the completion of the construction of the King Abdullah Medical City Hospital in the Kingdom of Bahrain, and many other projects. The third meeting of the Council constituted a pivotal transition in cooperation between the two countries, as a number of agreements and MOUs were signed that paved the way for achieving the aspirations and hopes of the leaders of both countries. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa yesterday arrived in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to lead Bahrain's delegation at the third Saudi-Bahraini Coordination Council meeting. Upon arrival, His Royal Highness was received by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud and a number of senior officials. His Royal Highness was accompanied by a number of senior officials. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister issued a statement in which he highlighted the depth of Bahrain-Saudi relations, a partnership which continues to be supported by His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. His Royal Highness commended the commitment of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia to strengthening bilateral cooperation and integration. He affirmed that the Saudi-Bahraini Coordination Council bolstered bilateral relations, adding that the Council's third meeting is a testament to joint commitment to further coordination and cooperation. His Royal Highness expressed the Kingdom's commitment to strengthening the Bahrain-Saudi partnership to achieve mutual goals and aspirations. He noted the progress and development witnessed by Saudi Arabia, highlighting achievements that have strengthened Saudi Arabia's leadership regionally and internationally. His Royal Highness wished Saudi Arabia and its citizens further progress and prosperity. Under the patronage of the BDF Commander-in-Chief, Field Marshal Sheikh Khalifa bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, the final phase of the Joint Comprehensive Air Exercise Sky Soldiers 1, which was implemented by the Royal Bahraini Air Force, was carried out with the participation of a number of weapons and units of the BDF, the Ministry of Interior, and the National Guard. The commander of the Royal Bahraini Air Force, RBAF, Air Vice Marshal Sheikh Hamad bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, delivered a speech in which he welcomed the Field Marshal. He added that since the establishment of the RBAF on the 8th of May 1976, it witnessed continuous development and modernization through the plan drawn up by the General Headquarters of the BDF, which culminated in numerous achievements. He added that from the very beginning, the members of the RBAF have been working diligently to raise the level of combat readiness and defend the kingdom. He praised the support of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, and the support and follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Deputy Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa. He praised the trust of the Commander-in-Chief and the affiliates, which motivated the members in assuming their national responsibility. He expressed sincere thanks and appreciation to the Ministry of Interior, the National Guard, and the commanders of the BDF units participating in the exercise, as well as the directorates of the General Command of the BDF concerned with this exercise. He also praised the efforts of all sections of the Royal Bahraini Air Force for their participation and hailed the level of performance. He also thanked the work team for their efforts to develop the scenario and the follow-up on the implementation of the exercise. The Commander-in-Chief then witnessed the stages of the conclusion of the exercise, affirming that it achieved its goals, most notably raising the level of military efficiency and improving combat readiness within the training programs and plans that aim to develop training, qualification, and exchange of experiences. He held the cooperation and coordination witnessed in the exercise, affirming the importance of conducting such joint exercises periodically to gain more experience and maintain a high level of readiness in addition to increasing participants. The Field Marshal congratulated His Majesty the King and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister and the BDF's personnel on the development and achievements of the BDF, and he stressed that the BDF is the nation's solid shield and affirmed its combat and administrative readiness to carry out its national duty with efficiency. He also highlighted its readiness to carry out many exercises at the level of military and security institutions in the kingdom. The exercise was attended by the National Guard Staff Director Lieutenant General Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Saud Al Khalifa and a number of senior BDF officers. In implementation of the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa opened the third edition of the Housing Finance Exhibition. The exhibition is organized by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning and Iskan Bank. The event was attended by a number of officials from the public and private sectors. Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah stressed that the positive results achieved by housing programs in partnership with the private sector affirmed the success of the approach followed in providing housing services in line with the visions of His Majesty the King and the aspirations of His Royal Highness, and in response to the requirements of securing adequate housing for low-income citizens. He added that the government is working hard to diversify the housing solutions provided to citizens in a way that contributes to reducing waiting periods by employing the resources, capabilities, and competencies in the field of social housing. He pointed out that meeting thousands of financing requests over the past 2 years reflects the feasibility of the housing financing program as an innovative housing solution in addition to the government land development rights program, which aims to offer more housing units in partnership with the private sector through the establishment of 8 projects during 2023 and 2024. The Deputy Premier pointed out that the remarkable acceleration in providing thousands of housing services to citizens has left a positive impact on the national economy, especially the real estate sector, business services, and the building and construction sector. The Deputy Premier then inaugurated the developed version of the Beiti real estate platform, which provides citizens wishing to benefit from financing services with all the various real estate and financing consultations. He praised the comprehensive development that the platform has witnessed, with the aim of making it easier for citizens to choose housing appropriate for their needs. The Minister of Housing and Urban Planning, Amna Ramehi, expressed thanks and gratitude to the Deputy Prime Minister for opening the exhibition and launching Beiti platform. She said that the current edition of the Housing Finance Exhibition witnesses the participation of 4 companies that are among the largest real estate development companies in the kingdom, in addition to increasing the number of participating real estate brokerage companies to 24 companies. The Minister added that the continuous increase in requests comes in conjunction with the positive results achieved by the program in providing housing services to citizens on one hand, and the increase in the volume of real estate trading with private sector companies on the other hand. She explained that these results reflect the positive impact of the partnership between the government and private sectors in the field of social housing. Under the patronage of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, His Majesty the King deputized the BDF Commander-in-Chief Field Marshal Sheikh Khalifa bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, who in turn tasked the Chairman of the Supreme Council of Health, Lieutenant General Sheikh Dr. Mohammed bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, to attend the opening of His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Khalid Al Khalifa Center for Kidney Diseases, coinciding with the BDF celebrations of its 56th anniversary. During the opening, the Commander of the Royal Medical Services, Brigadier General Sheikh Dr. Fahad bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, stressed that the patronage of His Majesty the King to develop the medical systems of the Royal Medical Services and the keenness of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister enabled it to develop therapeutic care and the military health sector. He added that the new center is followed up by the BDF Commander-in-Chief and is considered one of the most important vital medical projects in Bahrain. After that, Sheikh Dr. Mohammed bin Abdullah unveiled the center's commemorative plaque that toured the center's various departments and advanced medical services. He stressed that the center is the result of the unlimited support of His Majesty the King and an implementation of the visions of His Royal Highness with the continuous follow-up of the BDF Commander-in-Chief. He also expressed pride in the Royal Medical Services and its highly qualified medical, administrative and technical staff. As part of his visit to Bahrain, the Egyptian Minister of Interior, Major General Mahmoud Tawfiq, and the accompanying delegation visited the open prisons complex. He was received by the Minister of Interior, General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, and senior Interior Ministry officials. The Director General of Verdict Enforcement and Alternative Sentencing, Sheikh Khalid bin Rashid Al Khalifa, briefed about the efforts to expand the alternative sanctions and measures law of the open prisons program, along with the launch of more rehabilitation and training programs for beneficiaries. He said that the open prisons program is a human rights milestone as part of the directives of His Majesty the King and the keenness of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. He said that the best international standards are adopted in implementing the program. After that, the official of the accompanying delegation toured the complex and learned about the educational buildings equipped with the latest systems, residential units, and the sports club. The Egyptian minister hailed the technological development and distinguished security performance of the Interior Ministry in a way that contributes to promoting Arab efforts and facing security challenges regionally and internationally. The Chief of Public Security, Lieutenant General Tariq Al-Hassan, gave a security briefing during the visit of the Egyptian Minister of Interior to the Public Security Officers Club, during which he was accompanied by the Minister of Interior, General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa. He discussed a number of security projects that contribute to strengthening societal security in a way that keeps pace with the current and future changes and challenges. He praised the process of security cooperation between various security agencies between Bahrain and Egypt and hailed the results of the meetings of the Joint Security Committee. The Chief of Public Security reviewed regional security challenges and the accelerating security changes that face Arab and regional surroundings that require continuous efforts to maintain security and stability through the exchange of expertise and successful strategic experiences in strengthening security work between the two countries. The Minister of Tourism, Fatma Sayrafi, visited Reef Island along CEO of the Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority, Sara Bahajji. Sayrafi expressed the ministry's commitment to providing comprehensive support and resources for the private tourism sector. She explored an array of facilities of the strategically positioned island, which serves as a significant residential and commercial hub, featuring various housing options like villas, chalets, and buildings with breathtaking views of the Arabian Gulf. Reef Island was highlighted as the crucial asset. The minister underscored the importance of collaboration and partnership across public and private sectors to leverage the opportunities presented by Reef Island and emphasized the ministry's and BTA's commitment to supporting entertainment events, marine activities, and beach attractions. The Kingdom of Bahrain has preserved the economic gains of the National Action Charter within the framework of the royal directives and the keenness of the government to enhance economic freedom and attract private and foreign investment in line with Economic Vision 2030. More on this report.
The National Action Charter has established the general frameworks for the economy in the Kingdom of Bahrain, and its features became clear in Bahrain's economic development. The National Action Charter devoted its third chapter to the economic foundations of society. This economic freedom was accompanied by a change in public administration towards simplifying procedures, transparency, eliminating overlap and responsibilities, and improving the level of services, in addition to modernizing economic legislation. The Economic Development Board, which was established in the year 2000, played a major role in attracting foreign investments. The Kingdom of Bahrain is considered one of the important regional and financial centers and actively seeks to develop tourism and has provided an environment for the development of value-added industries. Bahrain Economic Vision 2030, which was launched in the year 2008, is considered one of the most prominent post-charter projects. It set a long-term vision for the future of the national economy and contributed to making the private sector the main engine of economic growth, which is evident in many government projects that came in partnership and cooperation with the private sector.
During the visit of the Government Service Centre's Evaluation Committee Taqeem 4 under the chairmanship of CEO of IGA and Chairman of the committee, Mohammed Al-Qaid, Tamkeen's 2 customer service centres in Seif Mall and Beit Tijjar building obtained the gold category rating within the evaluation program. The CEO of Tamkeen, Maha Mufiz, affirmed that obtaining this classification reflects Tamkeen's keenness to provide the best levels of service in line with the highest international quality standards, as well as its commitment to innovation and introducing the latest technologies. The Coast Guard continues to conduct inspection security campaigns through its maritime patrols to ensure the fishermen's compliance with the rules and regulations and ensure the validity of the fishing licenses for small vessels. The Coast Guard calls upon all seafarers to adhere to the laws and regulations in coordination with the competent authorities to preserve the environment and wildlife, in addition to the provision of practical experience for cybersecurity graduates within the partnership among academic organizations and public and private cybersecurity institutions.